Referee today is Ben Thaler. Video referee, should we require, is James Child, Mr. Chris Kendall, Mr. Tony Martin. The two men running the line. 10 years since a Challenge Cup final for St Helens. This is the 10th Challenge Cup tie since Hull lost in this competition. So somebody's dreams get decimated today. We're underway. St Helens get first touch of the ball and a first chance for Hull to try and put their mark. On this occasion, they'll be looking for a big defensive effort against the St Helens team that, given half an invitation, can run rings around anybody. First man in, driven in by Luke Thompson, and here comes Amor. Roby out of dummy half. Wilkin hands it on, and just the threat of a break from Thompson. Quick stuff from St Helens. Richardson, here he goes, gets a pass away to Peru. So one play to go, but St Helens are already threatening. Ben Barber with a wonderful catch, but an awful pass, and it bounces off, I think, the nose of Danny Richardson, and Hull will be mighty relieved. So Brian Noble has joined us, but Jonathan Davis is here as well. How do you see this one going?
I think it's a tough one, of course. Everyone thinks St Helens are the form side, playing at home with a superstar. But it's, Hull have been there, they're champions, they love going to Wembley, they have an appetite for it, and they don't want to give that up. So I thought they had a lot of injuries, but it looks a very, very strong side on paper, especially with Kelly there. But reiterate what Kevin said in studio, the last play is going to be vital. You can't be loose, it's got to be competitive or dead, that's simple as that. You can't give them any opportunities to come back at you.
Brian Noble?
Well, my worry there is they're missing the guy that could create that for them in Mark Sneed. Of all their injuries, you would have loved him out there, because he can do that to you. It is a lot healthier, the black and whites for sure, but we just saw a little caveat, a little opening minuet, if you like, of what Saints can do to you if you let him win the ball around the ruck.
Dean Hadley, the one who's being treated here.
Yeah, it's a very fast start for St Helens, extremely fast.
I think we have a unique commentary pairing here today as well. We were chatting before this game started between us, and it turned out that Jonathan Davis was once sent off after a match had finished, and Brian Noble was once sent off before a match had even started.
That's absolutely true.
So that's not on the record, though, is it? The game was over, so technically I was never sent off.
Russell Smith sent you off in what, 1994 was it?
I don't know what you're talking about this.
After the match had finished, and Brian Noble sent off of fighting in a tunnel before it even got out on the field. So we'll not be talking to either of them about disciplinary issues.
Back to the game, dear.
Here's Tumavavi for Hull, threatening to make a break. Richardson had a hold of man and the ball. Two more in there as well. Here's Taylor. They'll be very pleased to see him in the starting lineup. Injury concerns this week. And the kick is high from Connor. Barber underneath it, and he's chased down by Albert Kelly. So Barber going nowhere on that occasion other than backwards.
That's what they'll want more often than not today. Throw the ball as high as they can. Another tactic that Lee Rafford would employ against Barber. Get the scoops down there, which is Albert Kelly in this instant, and put him on his backside.
I think Jake Connor has got to step into the shoes of Sneed. He's got the ability to do it, so he has got to concentrate every time he puts that kick in. When you have people back, it's a very isolated place, and if you're under pressure, even Barber could crack.
Lomax to Barber, throws it out wide. Now there's an opportunity here for Percival to cut back on the inside, weaving those pretty patterns. Old shoulders, hitting the spot. One play to go. Roby across the face of Amor. Wilkin to Richardson, who steps away from Danny Howe to give him time to put that spiral bomb up. Jamie Shaw underneath it. No challenge. St Helens hanging off 10 metres. Happy to make the tackle there.
We've all spoken about very sure about St Helens' attacking prowess, and rightly so. We're seeing that in examples now. Defending pretty well as well.
But also Hull, they've got a very, very powerful side. Big, powerful side. If they could try and outmuscle St Helens.
There's Connor, who's behind the 40 metres, but misdirects that kick. It's thrown out on the full. He was aiming for a 40-20 to give Hull an attacking position. Instead, he's kicked out on the full. which gives St Helens head and feet.
Well, he's put himself in the wrong position there. He's a right footer, so the chase is closing him down. Just quicker, just watch. As he's a right footer, a step off his left, he's going into the chasing defender, so he's got to step back and maybe go to the other side where he has a little bit more time away from the chaser.
I think that's a question, Jiffy, of the game plan getting before his actual kick.
Yeah.
Technically, he can only kick a certain way with that kind of pressure, but he's been told we've got to kick some sidelines, we may be going for 40-20s. That's rushed his performance.
Yeah.
Stand side. Okay, Dan. Out!
Here's Roby. Lomax. Percival.
One. Movement! Jack! Go. Two, move, Danny!
Carried in by Taya.
Where it's got to.
I think the both second rows are playing extremely well this year for St Helens. And they've gone under the radar with all the superstars they've got, but they've been a real force.
Thompson's had a great year as well. We highlighted him in the last, and here's Roby, who's in a bit of a gap. Just thought he'd have a go, and Hull living dangerously for that moment. Richardson back to Barber. Here comes Morgan.
Big tackle, move, Jake! Get away! 5. Go!
Makinson, last play. He's going to try and make something happen for himself. It's a poor kick, and Maloudi. Hakim Maloudi will bring it away, the French international.
I love this player, this Maloudi. He's got some tricks. Felix with his little bag of tricks, he can play.
Here's Tomovavi.
Good. Richardson's got in stuck in, isn't he? He's been first up tackler, taking on the big men. There he is again.
Minicello.
My half-back, I'd want him out there somewhere.
I like him. I'd pick him for England.
Sid.
Right here, right now.
Don't hold the knee!
Well,
It's lovely.
Play on.
Let's play on. Maloudi. And I think he's gone into touch. The referee's calling it back for a forward pass. Judge below us, Mr. Martin.
I tell you what, that's good play though. You know, he created the extra man there. Again, it's Jake Corner who did it. Pulled his defender in, created the space. Just watch, he holds Ryan Morgan.
Is that forward? This one.
Oh, he had
Perhaps.
plenty of time there, didn't he? Really, Corner done the hard work.
Come on.
Opportunity missed there for Hull.
Same again, Danny. I'll tell you when.
Well, Hull's
Jake on side.
Challenge
Team,
Cup
near the mate.
domination started
Team,
here, didn't
near
it?
the
A couple
scrum.
of years ago in the 6th
Downside.
round. They won here against a Saints side that was very flat that day. Not to the different scenario here today.
Where it down.
Saints crowd was
Wait,
very flat that
wait.
day as well, but they're joyous at the moment.
Wait there, you're right. Tackle one. Go.
Yeah.
Here's Regan Grace.
Surrender! Stand, Danny! 2.
Roby.
Go!
Amor to Wilkin and to Thompson.
3. Move, Mark! Where it
3
down.
gone. 30
Ready.
metres still to cover. 3 tackles to come.
Brooks,
Roby.
guys.
Wilkin again. They switch it to that left. Low back to Barber. And here comes Percival with the angled
4.
run.
Moonseeker!
Hull
Here,
are
4.
being tested in these early stages. Wilkin again. Richardson, a step here from Peru. The offload. It's going to ground. It's picked up by Barber. It's lost again. Timovavi claims it back. And Hull win that little battle.
Well, that's what Hull have to do. Any scraps on the floor, any 50-50, any 60-40s, they've got to get them.
Move on side. Ready.
Let's hear from Robbie Hunter-Paul.
Just got to say, look, there's some worrying signs for Hull FC at this point in time. There's been 3 clean breaks in the opening 5 minutes on St Helens and probably half a dozen half breaks. They need to get control of this ruck.
Minicello. He's a durable character, isn't he? Mark Minicello.
Tough hombre.
Real achiever. Green. Pops it away. Opportunity on the far side with Sikumanu. It's the best position they've had so far, Hull, but they're on the last tackle. So Albert Kelly puts it high in the air. Mahoudi's underneath it. There's not a great threat there. He's surrounded by St. Clair. He's done well to get it away, but he's carried out a play before he did so. So the handover for St. Helens.
Yeah, just again miscommunication. You see Albert there telling Logan, look, just give it him early, just close the space down once again.
Wait there. Go. Take Take it back, Ian.
Damien Johnson, what are you saying on the sidelines?
Just an update on Ian Hadley, the former Wakefield man who's disappeared down the tunnel. He's having some treatment on his ankle. He's a real workhorse for Hull FC. Waiting news on whether he's going to return.
Get the ropes, Chris.
Yeah, it's a loss for Hull, is that, Dave? He is Mr. Dependable. He to 30-40 tackles, turns up where he should. And it'll affect their bench as this, with the heat, especially as the game goes along.
Yeah, Washbrook talking about Mr. Dependable. Washbrook, the man who's come on in his place off the bench. What a servant of Hull he has been down the years. Amor, a bit of a juggle, keeps a hold. Still 3 to go for Saints, 40 away. Wilkin, Richardson picks the line and the dog's back on the inside. Roby was with him, Richardson trying to find his path to the line himself. Thompson out of dummy half, here comes Benny Barber, little grubber kick in there, but it's taken by Shaw.
Well played, Jamie Shaw, well played, Jamie Shaw. He made the tackle before, did Shaw, got out of dummy half and got across and fielded the kick. That's how good that was.
Yeah, brilliant play by Shaw. Used his pace there very, very effectively.
And a penalty to relieve as well. So what about Jamie Shaw? What about these two moments here?
Well, we've focused really hard on what Ben Barber can do for a team. Jamie Shaw runs out of dummy half real well. There's just Maludi winning the penalty in relation to around the ruck.
Right, here you are, mate. Don't go early. Right. Go.
Here's Green.
What? Move, John! Now, boys. Back in, Luke. Go. Go.
He shoots it along to Manu.
Very good line speed so far from both sides.
Kelly's running away. He's lost the ball in the tackle. Yeah. Loose Kelly.
Well, this is going to burn Hull eventually. They've given the ball up on the last 3 occasions, 3 times on there or there about the halfway line or in their own half, and that's just putting too much pressure on your goal line defence when you get into that area.
Yeah, as Robbie said, when you just giving them the ball, they've had 11 tackle bursts so far, 3 clean breaks. Eventually, Saints are going to finish one off. So,
as a reminder that the draw in the forum after we finished here, the Water Splash Final documentary. Mike Burke and Ricky Wiles' Water Splash Final documentary still available on the iPlayer. If you've not seen it, I would recommend that to you.
It's brilliant documentary.
As in James. Get near, Jack.
Costa Rica, Northern Ireland on the red button a little later as well. Semi-final draw coming up. What a semi-final we've got for you. Double header on August the 5th at Bolton's Macron Stadium. 2 matches, 1 day, 1 prize, Wembley. It's going to be terrific.
2, move, stop! Yeah, see, play it. Go.
Here's Roby. Wilkin. Lomax.
Still 2.
Keeping it alive, Thompson. Here's Roby again. Inside for Zebtire. 10 metres away, St Helens. Putting Hull back on the ropes here. Richardson, Lomax holds it up. Barber. They're marking him almost. They're spotting him very early. They're not giving him as much room as he would like, Ben Barber. 6 tackle. Wilkin. Roby governing things on the left-hand side again. Possible with a dummy over the line. Has he touched it down? That's the question. And that's the question that's being asked here by Ben Thaler. Was that a heroic tackle or is Percival in? Let's hear from our video ref, James Child.
Just making sure he gets the ball down, please.
We have a live decision of a try. We're just checking the grounding. Does he maintain possession? He's in possession at that point. Appears to be no separation. Have you got another angle on it? Just to confirm that. So look at this side. Maintains possession all the way down, confirming the live decision of a try.
12 minutes played. Mark Percival with the first try of the afternoon. St Helens leading by 4 points to 0.
Well, it was coming, Dave.
Yeah.
And I think Roby's the key. They're looking for a kick on last player Hull, thinking they've done the job. They've scrambled really, really well. They've fought like mad for each other. The ball comes to Robe and he decides, no, we'll take it out there. I can play in this half position, and they create the extra with the passing. They create the extra number.
I think Logan's been caught ball watching there. I think you're right, he's come round, created the extra man, but just watch Logan, he's just staying. He's gone too late, so close to the try line, you can't drift onto your, your opposite number. But I think Percival and Lomax have really stepped up. The quality of playing with Ben Barber has given them the confidence and the space, and they're utilising Barber because he draws so much attention. But on that occasion there, Logan he could not drift that close to the line.
So young Danny Richardson, who really has come of age this year, 21 years of age last September, but in rugby league terms he's come of age, and there's a kick. There's a kick from the touchline. Helps to go up in 6s rather than 4s in Challenge Cup ties, and St Helens have their first 6 on the ball.
Well, it's Roby's the key, and you're right, Logan is caught a little bit flat-footed, but they get the ball out there, and Percival one-on-one with anybody's going to get it on the outside, which he does, and it's too hard to control then. So it's a good score from the Saints on the back of Hull probably not completing the way they would like to. I don't mean the sets, I meant the way they finish the sets. Oh, this is different.
Oh, they're going short here. Too short.
Still not gone.
Might as well touch it. It's penalty back on the halfway line.
I just can't understand that. It's Friambo comes in, and then he's not even the regular kick guy, the kick-off guy. Connor was kicking off earlier on, and now they've just gone high.
Well, it's a shock tactic. It's something that the whole team will have spoken about, but you've got to execute the kick to make the shot, and he just doesn't execute the kick.
He gets the height on it, unfortunately, not the yardage.
So it has given St Helens an attacking position straight away, and Thompson immediately, with all that enthusiasm and dynamism that he's been showing all season, but that's a good response from the whole defence. So dragging back a yard or two. Here's Richardson, Wilkin now. Little hop by Zeb Tyre, Cook Islands international, captained them a couple of World Cups ago. Kyle Amor, Irish international. There's a few nationalities out there. Roby to Richardson to Lomax, who's missed the man. Wonderful. What an absolutely terrific pass that was from Johnny Lomax. Regan Grace flies in at the corner, but what about the pass? It was a peach.
Absolute corker from Lomax, and that's on the back of Hull's aggressive. They've given the Shark a taste of blood with the short kick-off. They've invited him back into the pool. They've gone down there. Lomax has nailed this ball to Grace, and I have to say I think Farimo's tried to come in and stop the play, and the quality of the pass just beats him hands down.
Yeah, it all comes from this look. Farimo just doesn't get the yardage, and with the resulting position they score. It's a beautiful ball, goes behind. They both come in half-heartedly. That's a great finish as well. Brilliant finish by Grace. But just watch, half-hearted defence. One goes in, you've got, they both go in, but the pass beats her beautifully. Brilliant finish, brilliant try.
Well, he's like a bottle of champagne waiting to be uncorked, isn't he, Regan Grace? And he just showed all his sparkle there, Justin Holbrook. I'm sure is pretty happy at the moment, and Hull, big task is getting bigger. Saints are already sizzling. So another tough kick from the sidelines. This time he doesn't find the target. It's 10 points to 0, St Helens lead.
And it's crucial right now that all of these Hull defenders get in there, control the middle of the field, and make sure that they get down there and play the balls all the way to 0. St Helens right at this point in time are in the zone, and these guys need to stop it.
He's blowing a bit, isn't he?
He is.
Blowing big style.
He's put a bit of timber on.
Blowing big style.
Have a sit down, Robbie.
You need to keep out of the way, you'll get run over.
Hull restart, 10-0, St Helens lead. Thompson.
Tackle one. Move, Danny. Chris. Here. One. Go.
You've got to look at it at Hull, you know, they need possession, only 2 complete sets, they've completed 4 sets, so when they get the ball, they've just got to look after it.
There's 5 with the kick.
Yeah.
Makinson. Ball's gone to ground. Our referee says knock on.
That's a respite for them now.
Tommy Makinson said it went backwards, sir.
First real opportunity for Hull. It's a great hit though. Great hit by Jack Logan there. He's kind of ball in one hand.
10 metres, lads, and stay on.
14 missed tackles already by Hull.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's probably not as dangerous as it sounds. I've been looking at those and they've scrambled really well, but you can't scramble all day. You're relying on somebody else to make a play for you, which you want in your defence. You know that Saints are going to make breaks on you. You've got to make some allowances in the fact that, and you've got to help each other and make cover for each other. I understand the magnitude of that stat, and that's about the quality of individuals as well in this St Helens team.
And it's Thompson who's doing all the work at the moment. 53 metres he's made, far more than anybody else on either side. The St Helens prop forward. But this is Hull's opportunity, and they've got to take these moments. Connor, he can unlock the St Helens door. Houghton, dummies to Green, and now it goes to Kelly, and here comes Manu. Kelly again. Searching and probing and finding a way through and twisting over. What about that for a little moment of magic? They needed a response. They've got a response. Albert Kelly.
I think Lee said that with him back in the side, they're a far better side. And that just shows what he can do. He is deceptively quick and powerful. And once you miss the first tackle, you know, Barber had no chance. What a brilliant response by her, by this magnificent little player.
There's a mistake that leads Makinson. A tackle from Logan. Gives them some field position. First time, first 4 plays in the opposition half. Watch this, he's gone. Boom. Straight through.
You can't go high on him, can you?
No.
You know, you get a big forward making that tackle on him, he just brushes him off. And Barber's got no chance. There he goes, bang. In, not out. Great finish.
Not so much Albie Kelly as I'll be seeing you later. That was terrific individual stuff from him. And Connor with a conversion attempt right underneath the sticks here. Well, this brings the contest back, doesn't it?
Definitely, and Hull will think they've got plenty more improvement in them in the way that they're finishing sets.
Recently called into the England Knights, Jake Connor puts the goal between the sticks, the ball between the sticks. 10 points to 6, and that will give the black and whites plenty of heart now.
That's the first time they've had an attacking position. You know, they just show how dangerous they are. Just he goes. I thought he was lethargic the first time he carried the ball, but he was just setting up the position. Used his forwards as decoys and just exploded through the gap.
Well, I was trying to protect him, but John Wilkin probably needs to put his hands up there in relation to going high on him. You can't go high on Kelly. You've got to hit him around the midriff.
So midway point of the first half, 10-6, St Helens bossing it, but Hull back in it. And nobody's committed to that one, which makes it dangerous, but it's Connor who comes up with it, and here's to Mavavi.
Boy, they got lucky there.
Very, very lucky. You can't allow a ball to bounce from kick-off.
Well, I think somebody said in the build-up they need the bounce of the ball. They got the bounce of the ball there. Shaw. 2 tackles gone. They're already closing in on the halfway line. Here's Green. So they've covered some distance. Connor. Timavavi. Here's Minicella.
Go, Dan, get out that ball quicker.
Connor again. Taylor. It's that tough stuff down the middle once more. On tackle 5, so here comes the last. Connor. It's a delicate little chip here, which, well, he's run off the ball. It's a penalty. It's a penalty for Hull. Maludi run off the ball, and clearly looks as though he's hurt as well.
I think he's all right there. I think he's, you know, it's certainly a penalty. I'm not sure if he's blocked his run well. He's lifted his arm and caught him.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, nothing really, nothing. I think he's
Deviation, isn't it? It's hard to argue against a penalty because he stuck his arm out.
He's got his eyes on him as well, hasn't he? That's what's giving it away.
Stuck his arm out as well.
You know, he just runs. There's no need if he runs straight there, just stands in front of Makinson. He takes the catch, but he just runs across him.
Well, the other thing is you're not allowed to tackle anybody in the air, so Makinson can get a free jump anyway.
Exactly. So why does he give that penalty away?
Here's Taylor. Wants to get up quickly, wants to play the ball. Danny Houghton. Hull with hope in their hearts at the moment. Green angles back towards the line, and he's over the line. Referee's having a good close look
All I
here.
said, he's got it down.
Oh, I thought he was going to give it straight away, but he is throwing it up to the video referee. Big decision here.
I'm going to try.
He says try on the field. That's massive. He says try on the field. So now it's up to Ben Thaler to pick the bones out of this one.
Okay, live decision of a try, just checking the grounding. So he's in possession, still in possession. Hand is still on the ball. And there the ball is grounded. So we can confirm the live decision of a try.
Well, Chris Green knew immediately, didn't he? And now we all know he's touched that ball down. And from being under the cosh, Hull are back level with a kick to come.
I think one thing you can't do with this Hull side is allow them, you know, possession in your own 20 metre. They're a big, powerful side, you know. They score tries, a lot of tries when you give them those opportunities. You know, they're very difficult to stop. So from being totally outplayed in the first 20 minutes, they are going to be in front now after this conversion. A great response from Hull.
We love the Challenge Cup, don't we?
So here comes Connor to give his side the lead, and over it goes. Well, I think any suggestions of this being an easy day for St Helens have just been extinguished completely. They're getting a little excited on the bench, a little animated on the bench. Houghton with a catch. Green, the try scorer, looking to return.
Win it, boys. One.
Don't forget the draw for the semi-finals coming up as soon as we've finished here.
Two-move, James.
Red button forum as well. Hashtag BBCRL if you want to take part in the conversation. As Taylor will drive it in.
This is what they do well.
Win it, boys. Help. Go, mate.
Mickey Payer's on the field. Another of the Tongan internationals. Another of the handfuls that suddenly appear in the middle of a game. Danny Houghton. Shaw's quickly up there. Kelly sticks it high under duress from Amor. Down it comes safely into the hands of Tommy Makinson, but often we see him catch those and then make a run, but he's not given any time with those Hull defenders right in his face.
Well, and the key is Kelly, the amount of height he's putting on the ball. He's giving the black and white chasers every opportunity to get near the ball, and near to Barber and Makinson. With any space, it'd be dangerous.
No space whatsoever. You know, that's what they have to do. A dangerous back three. Don't give them any opportunity to run back at you.
Here's Roby. Wilkin. Lomax. Out it goes to Taya. They've only got a couple, well, only one tackle to go here. The referee's got his arm in the air. Here comes Richardson's kick. Shaw's got to cover some distance to get there, but he does, safely enough. And the Saints line is decent enough to make sure he's pincered there. 30 from his own line.
Got a game on now.
It's a proper cup tie, isn't it? Houghton again, collecting and delivering. Taylor looking on the inside. Shaw suggesting he might break through. Amor was the tackler on that occasion. Now it comes to this left-hand side. Maludi with a step and an attitude.
Quick play the ball there.
Timavavi, he'll have a dart. Looks for support. It's Washbrook who comes crashing in. Look where they are. 5 away, but 5 tackles gone. Houghton. Kelly again, another kick, another test. Grace is underneath it, and he was in the field of play, the referee said when he leapt for that, but he has got back in the field of play again.
Yeah, great catch from Grace.
Great set the way.
Legs in the air penalty. Legs in the air penalty.
Put it into ground safely. That's possible in that. It looked a lot worse than it actually was. It was definitely a penalty.
I tell you what, they'd be frustrated with that, because a brilliant set, a good kick to finish. You know, you're under the cosh there. Just tips him, gets him up. Yeah, he knows straight. He puts him down carefully.
Yeah. My opinion, if he fell his bomb was
One of those tackles that 10 years ago nobody would have blinked.
You agree?
Yeah, no.
But these days it's a penalty, automatically.
Just be careful, mate. You're putting in a dangerous position. You've got to be careful where we are. That's what we're doing.
Good call. Penalty.
It is a
only.
good call. You know, I was worried he was going to get a card out of some description.
It's a contest. You don't want anyone saying yellow carded.
Richardson's kick takes St Helens up to the 30-metre mark inside their own half. And they've got to roll their sleeves up here. They were playing the fancy dance stuff not that long ago, but now it's a real wrestle they're involved in to get control back. Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook's on the field.
Movement! Mickey! Go. 3. Move, Brad! Well it, Danny. 3.
Knowles just 5 metres inside whole territory. McCarthy Scarsbrook back to Lomax, and here's Barber again, looming large. Step back by Percival. They've got all the field to play with, right across if they want. But now they've only got 1 tackle left to go. Roby again. Lomax is out there. Lomax with a short pass. Teya. He's let it go forward. And Hull will get it back again. 10 from their own line.
Well handled from Hull. Lomax was having a crack at the line there. Couldn't quite see who it was. Came across. I think it was Danny Houghton came across from marker and scythed him down, which enabled the Hull defence to cope with that play.
Go. Hand over.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Lovely setting here at St Helens. Sun shining, skies blue.
Go 1.
And Hull making progress.
Yeah, boys, 2. Go.
Houghton. Connor. Timavavi.
So they're making good, easy yardage now, really.
And a lot of these Hull players have had a taste of Wembley the last 2 years running, and they like that taste. They want a bit more.
And they're making it a lot easier for the kickers as well. As you said, Snead's not playing, but when they're going forward so easily and good yardage, it makes it so much easier for the kickers.
Wait. Go.
Spinicello. Connor. Looking to bounce it out of play, but it's bounced instead into the hands of Richardson.
Not the best kick, but again, just look at the chase. That's the important thing. No space whatsoever.
Wait there.
He's had some attention as Richardson.
Yeah.
I mean, he's picked up a knock here, but
Yes.
the whole team, I think, are kind of having a crack at him in relation to carrying the ball. Legitimately, I'm not saying it's anything illegal, but he's had some defence to do as well as young Richardson. It'll be interesting in these numbers.
He looks a tough character mentally and physically, doesn't he, Richardson?
Well, they've got to make times. He's had to make 8 or 9 tackles now, and then he gets the ball and he's on his way back. And
There's a squeeze there, I think, round the head.
That's a high tackle, isn't it? This will be a penalty, I think.
Look at that.
Right.
Danny Houghton. And a bit of a crusher. Fell on his back.
Right, okay. All right. So right with that. Yeah. Dangerous contact. Yeah. And he's going in the sin bin for 10
Tony
minutes.
Martin, the
Danny,
touch
oh,
judge,
okay.
on
Danny,
in
10
conversation with
minutes.
Ben Thaler, and it's 10 minutes in the sin bin for Minicello, I think. No, not Minicello. Danny Houghton. Who's going?
Dangerous contact. No, we don't need to. No,
It's Danny Houghton.
Go.
Wow, what a blow this is going to be. I think it's the grab around the head. Dangerous contact is what we heard. So the grab around the head that has seen him off for 10 minutes. So more or less the rest of this half.
I think he says his contact on the neck. You know, he's got his hands on his face, and that, you know, the double tackle hasn't helped really. His cause definite penalty. You can't argue with the referee.
Well, that lack of personnel sometimes can be massive. Sometimes teams can just get over that, but
Well, especially him.
Yeah.
He's responsible for 50-60 tackles a game, and made a terrific defensive play over on Hull's right side not so long since, so they'll miss that for the next 10.
McCarthy Scarsbrook to the halfway line. St Helens will sense an opportunity now, and they get another penalty. Washbrook's furious. I think he felt that he was being held onto on the ground.
Oh, here we go.
Take your boys that way. I've got it. Take your lads that way. Albert. Let's see what's happened. Go that way. Take your lads that way. End the story. Take your lads that way.
Firm hand from the referee here.
I love the respect they show for him. When he shouts get away, they all walk away.
No, I've got Bradfast. I've got it.
There we go. There we go. Scramble on the ground.
No, I've got
Clock's
fast
still running.
heading to the
That'd be my
face.
question if I'm coach of St Helens. One in the bin.
Yeah. Yes. Right, can we just watch something there?
Danny Washbrook is saying hello with a knee.
Okay. Right. All right. Stop, I've stopped the clock. I've said time's off.
James Roby just brought up that subject that you just mentioned. Stop the clock, ref. I think the ref saying I'd already said time off. There we go.
All right, okay. So I've got Brad Fash.
A little bit of
Original
pantomime
offence,
creeping
Brad
in.
Fash sticking his knee into the tackle. Head into the tackle, sorry. So that's the first penalty. I've got LMS reacting, but I've got no real foul play off them. But after all that's happened, I've got Washbrook, who's used his knee. I don't think it's any more than a sin bin, personally. I just think he's got his knee in there. Danny,
They're going to be down
10 minutes.
to 11 players. Danny Washbrook is sin bin. So in the space of 2 minutes, Hull have gone from 13 players to 11 players. And that's how it'll be for the rest of this half. But that seemed very harsh. A sin binning from that? Brian Noble, you'd never have been on the field.
Well, he wasn't on. He was sent off before the game, so don't worry about that.
But that was a tough call, wasn't it?
I don't need McCarthy Scarsbrook reacting in the way
I
he's
just
done.
think
And the
what it does, it detracts away from the spectacle. We've got a brilliant spectacle at the moment, and we hold down to 11 now for the next 8 or 9 minutes. Now all the Puritans and are going to go put on the thing. Well, they shouldn't have done that, and they shouldn't have done this. But boy, it's a competitive game. We've got a fantastic quarter-final on our hands, and
I think it's frustration. No one's hurt. He's just frustrated. He lifts his leg into it. There's nothing of it. I think it is harsh, but it's frustration. Letter of the law. You can't argue with the referee, but I thought he was harsh. And now they've got a big 9-10 minutes coming up.
Well, they just want to hang on here, Hull, because in 10 minutes, St Helens can rip them apart. And that could be cup tie over in this next 10 minutes. So Hull will be desperate to see those seconds and minutes tick down to get 2 of their key players back on the field. But the opportunity's here for St Helens.
They'll have to slow everything down now.
Roby. Inside it comes for Douglas. Roby's back. You can sense a try coming here. Roby runs it left. Richardson with a step. The posse surrounds him, and he has to go down.
The workload is immense now for these Hull players.
Douglas again. McCarthy, Scarsbrook, Barber steps away from one. Oh, Tunavavi's done superb there, got his body in the way and taken the catch. And that's a good reaction from Hull in the first instance.
That's a try-saver of mega proportions.
And now they'll slow everything down, slow play the ball. Dead. Brilliant play, gets his hand in, knocks it up, regardless, a brilliant play.
Here's Shaw, one-handed pickup. He's going to have to do plenty of work in that dummy half position. Tuimavavi swings away. I tell you, if they score a try when they've only 11 men on the field hole, that would be something. Referee stops the clock, and it will see plenty of this as well.
Stop the clock. Just a shame there's been a few incidents now to stop the momentum of a great game. You understand why Hull are going to slow things down. Hope he's okay.
Tuimavavi's the man underneath. It's going to be okay, I think.
Yeah.
It exacerbates the fact that Hadley got injured early on as well.
Yeah,
so they're down to 3 subs, probably 3 middles, 3 bigger blokes, so they lack a little bit of latitude and athleticism there.
It's going to take a Rorke's drift type effort on a hot day as well. Here's Pear.
Kick's important now.
So Shaw at dummy half, last tackle. Connor's desperate to find touch, and he does. So Saints will get it back 20 metres from their own line, from a position they still offer a lot of threat. Given the strikes they got in there, the Saints players are desperate to get together for the scrum so that the referee stops the clock so that they can have as much time as possible against 11 men here.
All right. Have a word with him. Four. Yeah, 4.
I think they're just asking how many players do we need in the scrum, ref?
Yeah, how many do we have to put in?
4, isn't
4.
it?
The key here is you've got to have 7 backs, isn't it? It's not the number in the scrum, it's the number of players who lined up in the backs. And as long as there's 7 of them,
Stay on side.
and no fewer, no more.
Phil. Out. Back up.
So St Helens, here's Makinson. 8.5 minutes of the first half remaining. Saints will be desperate at least to be leading when it comes to half-time, and here's Regan Grace, off he goes, quick as a flash. Shaw's got speed as well, and he closed his option well, did Jamie Shaw, the full-back.
Brilliant full-back play there, used the touchline as an extra defender, got his angles right.
Saints are flowing again here. Somebody's turned the tap on. Roby coming right to Morgan Knowles with the offload. McCarthy Scarsbrook in the end did well to keep a hold of that. Roby, Richardson, back to Barber. Barber's caught there by Connor. They're doing a job on him.
They are.
Here's Morgan. Richardson's kick, hold by definition, stretched at the back. Great leap in the air by Percival. Kept alive, and Grace this time is not going to be stopped. His second try of the game. St Helens pick that whole defence to pieces, and they're back in the lead.
Well, it's just a numbers game. Once the ball hits the ground there, just simple equation, there's more white shirts in the frame than black because of 2 missing. It's been heroic from Hull so far, but they exploited that of St Helens. That's what they've got to do. The kick was great from Richardson. Competition in the air. The only chance for me for Hull to defend that was to catch the ball in the air, and it goes to ground.
Again, there's the initial break, they get the space. Shaw does exceptionally well. He goes, yeah, go on, take me on the outside. Brilliant, brilliant defence by Hull. But then, just a kick, it's competitive, they're all going up for it, come down anyway. Percival does well, ball goes to ground. And that's a brilliant finish, brilliant finish. But I think Tyre did exceptionally well. Once the ball hits the floor, he realises where the extra man is. Just watch, catches it, ball goes down, He knows what he's doing. Gives it to the fast guy. Good finish.
Great work in the air by Percival as well, wasn't it? All round there. So Richardson with his third attempt of the day. Is this going to be 2 out of 3? Yes, it is. 2 out of 3 from Richardson. 16 points to 12. St Helens lead.
Well, there's a kick from Richardson. Plenty of air on it. That's the money ball there when Tyre flicks the ball there. Every day of the week he's going to beat somebody one-on-one very quick.
He's a great young fella, Regan Grace. I mentioned him before on the beat from Port Talbot, where Jiffy tells us he's been stuck in a few traffic jams down the years.
Yeah.
Connors restart, a bit more depth. Regan Grace running it back.
It's a big set for Hull, this is. This set. Saints will try and play, use the extra numbers.
McCarthy Scarsbrook battering it forward. All the way from the Isle of Dogs in his career at, I think it was Harlequins at the time, wasn't it? The London Broncos as they are now. Here's Ryan Morgan battering his way through. 2 of them climbing on his back. But Saints are spread. Richardson throws it out. Now it goes further left. Lomax, inevitably there's numbers there, there's space there. Here comes Percival back on the inside, and Percival arrows his way underneath the sticks. St Helens in complete control again.
Well, you know, once the initial break is made, it's a scramble defence with short numbers on the left-hand side. You know, everyone's trying to cover for each other, over-reading defensively, and it's just an easy finish for Percival.
They can't do any other. They've got to scramble across, they've got to go sideways, and once you see that, and Percival does, they come back against the grain. So watch the black and white jumpers on your screen, going sideways, going sideways, going sideways. They're all scrambling, trying to help each other. Percival comes back against the grain, and there's bound to be a space for him, and there was.
They're trying their utmost to try and fill those holes, but you just can't do it. He holds the defenders, extra man, comes inside. Good finish, very good finish. But you knew they were going to play, you knew. And now the initial break that set up that field position just caused all the damage.
Richardson, as simple as they come, that particular kick. 22 points to 12. That 10-point lead has been reinstalled. But Hull will say under very difficult conditions for themselves with the 2 men down.
And again, they will go, they will attack. They know they've got 2 minutes left before Houghton comes back on, so they will attack on this set again. They'll set it up and then go wide.
The thing about Saints is they do that to you when there's 30 men in the opposition as well this season.
Let's not detract away from the quality that they do have.
Yes.
Okay, Jake.
Danny Houghton's got his bib off down below us, so he's about to come back on again. McCarthy Scarsbrook. That's a heck of an enthusiastic carry by him.
Right here, please, Seeker. Seek, quick me. Matt's nice and quick. Go.
Roby. Douglas.
2 movement. Mark. Go.
Richardson. Maludi reads it well.
2 in the tackle. 3. Move Madsen. Go.
Richardson. Morgan Knowles keeping it alive. Douglas and then Lomax. And Lomax puts on a bit of magic footwork. He was terrific in the league game against Castleford the other week. Absolutely superb. Richardson to Barber. Oh, well, he's human.
Well, they've kept him quiet, haven't they? But you know, they've done a really good job on him, Hull. But the other players have stepped up. You know, made the difference. Percival, Lomax, as I said earlier. You know, what he does, he tracks defenders, and sometimes you just have to use him as a decoy. You know, he wants to carry ball all the time. But he is a sensational player, and you've got to watch him all the time.
The Hull fans sent the chanting Barber's going home. He might be, but he's here right now.
He's not going
Living
home.
the moment. He's one to enjoy.
He's not going home before 4:30. That's the problem.
Danny Haynes back on, so Hull are back up to 12. Washbrook still sulking in the sin bin.
Get bang, guys! Out!
5 in the pack. Here's Houghton. Simatonga will crash it in. Logan, Jack Logan threatening. Houghton picks up and Connor carries it on here. There's still a lot of heart and soul about this whole performance, but that's been lost. The whole players are claiming it should be another 6 because St Helens' hand touched it, and Jake Connor was leading that argument, and the referee doesn't like the tone of his voice and has given a penalty against Hull and against Jake Connor.
Yeah, we highlighted this before the game, didn't we? And you know, with Washbrook ready to come on, you just need to take the scrum.
No, it's where it is here. No.
I thought you said no.
Well, there's an argument there for a St Helens hand.
Like yes, but the referee's always right, isn't he? So, put us arguing with him. Let's see if they can get Washbrook on before Saints launch another attack. He is walking up and down the touchline.
Go.
There he is, ready to go. The official in his ear will tell him
Ready, please. See.
when he can get out there. There's only going to be 50 seconds or so for him to get involved.
To move, my son!
He's
So
on.
he's back on, so Hull are back up to 13. But a lot of damage has been done while he and Houghton have been off. Roby. Morgan Knowles. He's going to be a player. Already is a player. Roby again. Douglas. Richardson. Lomax. Looking to stand them up and step around, but doesn't get his way. Last play in the set.
Big play.
It's going to be the last play in the half. It's a drop goal from Richardson. It's low and accurate. Flies over. And it is the last kick of that first half. I think you might have just picked up the hooter in the background, but that drop goal, 23 points to 12, the lead for St Helens, and Hull will point to that 10-minute period when they had 2 missing as being pretty crucial for them. But St Helens very happy. Half-time, St Helens 23, Hull 12, and we're going to go down to the touchline right now and catch up with John Wilkin, who's talking with Damien Johnson.
John, what's your assessment of that first half? Should be further ahead, perhaps?
Possibly. I thought we started very well with the ball in hand. Unfortunately, gave Hull a couple of attacking sets near our line. We knew Albert Kelly was going to be a threat. He punished us once, and then a lapse in concentration on Green. You know, 2 tries we'd rather have not conceded. After that, we got our stuff back in order. Undoubtedly, those yellow cards helped us out, but more to come from St Helens.
Thanks, John.
Cheers.
Albert Kelly's over here as well. Albert, you and your colleagues angry with those 2 sin binnings?
Oh, you can put it like that, but you know we've got to move on quickly. You know, it's a quick game here, and it's very, very hot.
Still very much in it with 11 points in it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we was down 2 players, and you know I thought we did pretty well for losing those 2, and we're still in it. Still in it.
Thanks, Albert.
Thank you.
Yes, 23-12 then to St Helens at half-time against the cup holders Hull. Here are some of the stats from that first half. More metres gained by Saints. 11 completed sets to 9 completed by Hull. Hull was struggling to complete their sets early on in this game. The interesting thing, 2 penalties conceded by Saints, 5 by Hull, although 2 of those penalties led to yellow cards. And that really is the difference, Brian Noble, actually, at half-time, those 2 Simbinis, which we'll look at in a little while.
Well, St Helens started on fire, didn't they? They looked superb. They were moving the ball well. And you thought it was only a matter of time before the dam broke in relation to Hull, because they weren't playing well. They weren't finishing sets in the way we tried to describe how they would get into the game. And then all of a sudden they got a break. They got to their end of the field. Kelly produced a piece of magic, as we thought he might. Green produces a bit of power and strength, as we thought they might within the middle. 12-10, they're in the game. And then, oh boy, the Sinbins. 2 tries, wow.
Let's go through the Saints tries to start with then. Hull didn't start particularly well. They were making errors. Let's look at the Percival try first of all, Kevin.
Yeah, I think Brian mentioned it then. In particular, John Wilkin at the start of this game was pivotal. He kept getting a first receiver and just pulling out some little passes. But on this play in particular, Albert Kelly just sits back and it just allows James Roby to take the space in front of him and just find the pass.
Yeah, that fourth man in as well. And I know as a back row, you can't be tempted to lean in too far because it's too much of a slide over. And for me, all just running sideways far too often. They've either got to start wide and start narrow, and get forward, or trust the people on the inside to make up that gap.
As I say, they were making errors, were Hull, weren't they? They were either losing the ball in the tackle, they were not going. All their kicks weren't particularly great early on, and the second try followed a poor kick from the kickoff.
Yeah, I just think in big games, okay, I've done plenty of these myself and got these wrong, but these just kill you. They kill you, and especially in the heat of what we've got today, you can't keep asking your big men to defend players like this. And you know, ultimately, I think Kelly's backing off. We don't want to put it all on Kelly here, but he. And Lomax picks a great pass out.
You have to praise the ball, don't you? You have to praise the pass.
Yeah, it's just a great ball. Yeah, great play.
I think the thing is that the old defenders are making the decision for the Saints players, and I think they need to get a little bit more forward. And as you say, Kelly's leaning too far in. They need some more people coming from the inside. When they actually went down, when they lost 2 men, they started doing that. Everybody's running round hell for leather, and if I can do that with 13 men on pitch, I've got a good chance.
Yeah, more of a chance than when they have 11 on the pitch, certainly. To get themselves back into it, we've highlighted Kelly making errors. Kelly was the man who got them back into it, and if you are going to get yourself back into it, you need a bit of individual brilliance.
And this was that. He picked out John Wilkin, one of our callers on the commentary sometimes. He got on the outside of him and he just puts down the afterburners. Boom, I'm off, I'm going to score. He's very strong in the hips, is Albert Kelly, as these two will attest to, and he just sees his opportunity.
You have to go lower, do you? You have to go lower.
You've certainly got to hit him around the midriff at least. If you go up anywhere near his shoulders, he's very strong.
I think it's class. If Hull are going to get back into this game, Kelly needs to run the ball like that, almost Ben Barber-esque. Strong in his hips, great balance, can step off both feet and asking questions.
Yeah, he's probably pivotal now. They're 2 scores behind. They can score 2 tries. We've seen that. Green came up with a score as well, which put them in front. And I think it's important we recognise that they do. Connor's playing well, I think, when he's with ball in hand. They look seriously a threat, and the sets before they score tries, they've made good progress against this St Helens defence in and around the ruck.
OK, it kind of switched, didn't it, from Hull making errors to then Saints making errors. And in fact, Hull's second try came from this penalty, James.
Yeah, well, you've got to give a lot of credit to it, Hull, to fight their way back. They don't have to go in 2 tries down. A lot of determination, tenacity, there's a lot on the line, and just seeing Green here, his leg drive, some great strength, and you know, if you keep putting yourself in that position, you've got a good chance, haven't you? There's a bit of a mismatch there with Roby, and he gets the rewards for his efforts. You know, great fight back from Hull. It's been a really entertaining game. They've been in the contest, but those 2 Simbinins for me just put the pin in it.
So many tweets coming in on the sim binnings as well. Kerry, what happened to it's rough, it's tough, it's rugby league? Jay, those who played in the games in the 70s, that's you, Brian, are saying, what is the fuss about? And yet, Christian, shocking refereeing, no way was Washbrook a sin bin. And then Paul Smith, for example, Ben Thaler doing a cracking job, Hull FC are self-destructing. Did they self-destruct? Let's deal with the Danny Houghton sin bin first. Kevin?
I think it's unfortunate, this one. I do think it's a sin bin, by the way, but I don't think it's intentional at all. He's got his body in the wrong shape, Danny Houghton, but he is responsible he has a duty of care to the guy with the ball. I don't think he has full control here. I think it's a harsh call, but I do think it's a sin binning.
Yeah, I'd agree. And look, I think Jake Connor hits him in the back, doesn't he? And just knocks him. When you watch it in full speed, very hard to control. And LMS, Kev mentioned before, is full of enthusiasm, and sometimes this is some of the eruptions that it causes.
Is Houghton's sin bin more justified than the Washbrook one, or do you think they're both sin bins, Brian?
I think Minicello adds weight and Connor adds weight to... Richardson sits down, so he's in a vulnerable position. And by the letter of the law, once they add weight and his neck goes in, it's a dangerous tackle per se, so it's a sin bin. I think the second one was just semantics that gets on with the big blokes in the middle. He should have just dragged them both out and said, carry on, the Saints penalty. I thought it was a harsh call, the second one.
And then if you are down to 11 and it is hot down there as well, in many ways, do you come off actually happy that you've limited to them to just 2 tries? I don't know.
Yeah, all the very best, isn't it, when you've got that many men up field. But they've done, you know what, they've done all right to say they've only had 11 men and they've only conceded 12 points. And as Albert Kelly said when he come off, they're still in it. They've still got a chance. If they can reply the way that they did in the second half of that first half, they've still got a good chance of coming back.
I think that was great vision from Zeb Tyre to understand that he had a man free and he was able to knock it on. I think the interesting start on the back of 2 players being sin binned and missed tackles. So Hull have missed 27 tackles as opposed to St Helens, and that's just down to them not having enough men on the field to cover it, and they're scrambling, they're trying to get around.
That's a fabulous picture on our screen for our viewers, by the way. Everybody's turned sideways. You can't get back if you don't square your hips. And that's part of Hull's desperation and desire and energy. They got 7 blokes in the frame, all facing the wrong way. And soon as Percival, with a bit of footwork, comes back against the grain, you just physically can't get your body back on the inside.
We see Justin Holbrook talking to the Saints players. If you're Lee Radford, Brian, you say to the Hull players, listen, 13 against 13, we were actually leading. Yes? I mean, that's the message you've got to get back.
The message is, when we've been down there and we threaten them, we've only been down there 3 times and scored 2 tries. We've got to do the other stuff better. We've got to keep doing the job on Barber, which they are doing. We've got to keep... After the first 10 minutes, Hull came back into the game and showed what they were.
Well, we mentioned at the start of the programme the situation with Joel and Sam Tompkins, Wigan losing at Warrington yesterday, and then this video appearing on social media last night. Let's bring Dave Woods in, the BBC's Rugby League correspondent, commentating on this game, of course. And the understanding, though, David, this video isn't from last night, it was from a few weeks ago. Yeah, I think it was about 5 weeks ago that the video was actually taken. There's some, we're not quite sure whether Wigan knew about it then or knew about it this weekend, but they say Chris Wedlinski has watched it over the weekend and said that he was pretty disgusted by what he saw. The 2 players, Joel Tompkins and Sam Tompkins, involved, both of them clearly worse for wear. Joel Tompkins was actually the more vocal in the 4 minutes or so. It was a video on a phone of them in the bar. He came round behind the bar and he was a bit abusive towards one of the female bar staff members, and then was verbally abusive to her as well a little bit later. Both clubs, both players have been brought in this morning to answer what the charges were, and they've been, well, Joel Tompkins has been fined £10,000, suspended for 4 weeks, and he, in that 4 weeks, is going to find out whether he has a future at Wigan, because they're going to discuss those circumstances a little bit more. Sam Tompkins has been fined £5,000. No question of him being suspended, but of course he leaves the club at the end of the year because he's on his way to Catalan. So a pretty desperately disappointing last 24 hours from Wigan's point of view. Chris Radlinski said they aren't just role models for the young kids in the town. He's Wigan's executive director. They're role models for younger players in the squad. It is impossible to put a strong culture in place if players you trust to drive those standards act in such way. It is a strong statement from Chris Radlinski. Back to this game, let's hear from the St Helens coach. He's with Damien.
Justin, we saw you very methodical and calm talking to the players. How did the conversation go at half-time?
Yeah, good. I think we just had to calm down a bit. Obviously, they went a couple of plays down and we thought we had to win the game in the next 6 or 7 minutes, which is not the case. So happy with how the half's gone, and we've got to continue that this half.
Appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thanks, Tup.
Going to be a fascinating second half. Hull have it all to do. They trail 23-12. Back to Jonathan and Brian and Dave. Well, 14 points is not insurmountable at this stage, is it? But it's going to take a heck of an effort for Hull in the second half. St Helens have got the bit between their teeth here now. But we've seen Hull respond once so far in this game when they were 10 behind.
Can they do it again? What do you reckon, Jonathan?
Well, with a full complement, a little bit of discipline. They've done exceptionally well. That 10-minute patch just put them under intense pressure. They scrambled well, but they can do it. They've done it once in this game before. So, and that's before. They've been to Wembley twice. They're the holders. They love this competition, and the appetite to go back to Wembley is huge with this bunch of players.
Well, they'll need to keep 13 players on the field. That'll be the first requisite. There's Barber with a pickup. Look where he is, penned. In terms of how they played Ben Barber today, impeccable tactics.
Yeah, the kick-in has been brilliant. It's pinned the corners. Every kick has been competitive.
Here's Roby. Looking on the inside, and Tommy Makinson's going to try and help with that heavy workload. McCarthy Scarsbrook, boy, hasn't he bounded into the action since he came off.
He always does. It does make an impact, doesn't he?
He's behind the 40 here, Richardson, and it's a kick that searches for the 20, but it's intercepted on that far side by Ferremo, who can bring it back. Melody rather. This is Ferremo, Beretta Ferremo.
It's a good ball carrier, Ferremo. Melody did exceptionally well. That's it. That's what Hull want. As I said, when they play in the opposition 20, they are extremely dangerous.
12 times Challenge Cup winners, St Helens. Only Leeds and Wigan have won it more. Leeds, of course, are one of the semi-finalists, along with Warrington and Catalan. We await the draw, which takes place as soon as we finished here. But Hull FC winners the last 2 years and want to make it 3 out of 3. We get to keep the trophy, says Lee Radford, if that happens. I'm not sure they do, but they'd love to test that out. Here's Sikamanu. 15 away, Danny Hatton. Good position, Hull find themselves. Early stages. Albert Kelly. It looked forward, it was forward.
It's an easy play, a poor play by Kelly, trying to draw the defence, taking the ball to the line. But he's delayed it and he's overrun it, hasn't he? It's a forward pass. Great opportunity missed by Hull. Good field position.
So Brian Noble has just rejoined us. I thought he was going to fall off his chair there for a moment. There's a little crunching going on.
Somebody's set booby traps underneath, empty water bottles.
Head and feed for St Helens, 10 from their own line. But they'll see that just as a challenge. 6 tackles to try and go the distance. Well, they're already making decent progress here beyond the 30-metre mark with only 2 gone. Roby's here at dummy half, wants it played quickly, puts it back in. Here's Regan Grace. Roby is looking around, the general, the master of his position. Lomax with a pass, quick hands, here it comes into Percival. Percival cutting back.
Boy, I'd love to see Johnny Lomax take off then.
Yeah, great use to the short side.
2 tackles still to go. Roby. There's Morgan Knowles. So right in the centre, 30 metres out. Where's it going here? Richardson. Up in the air. Maludi advances towards it, and he's caught it safely enough. He's down, says the referee, so he's fair game for tackled. Just feel a bit of a lull at the start of this second half.
Yeah.
Both sides just kind of measuring the situation again.
I think you sense how important our first try is going to be.
Danny Houghton up and off. He's had his rest. I don't think we'll see him off the field for the rest of the game now. 10 minutes that were unexpected, but batteries fully recharged. Washbrook likewise. Inside for Taylor. Last play the next. Danny Houghton. Connor. Back on the inside. Another of those high ones that limits St Helens' whole hope. But the catch is good from Makinson, and he spins away. Barber. Grace. angling back towards the middle. He hopes a few tired big fellas. Roby. Carthy Skarsbrook again. Blasting it forward. Holler meeting them like for like at the moment. Douglas. Decent set so far from Hull because they've limited Saints inside their own half. But suddenly, Regan Gracie's off here. Kelly's across. There's the kick. Lomax is after it. Lomax with a catch. But a great recovery again from Jamie Shaw. A couple of times today, but Saints are flooding forward. And are they going to score? Zeptire, did he get the ball down? Knock on. No, he's going to the big screen. No try. Let's hear for the first time in the second half from James Child in the video booth. Quite clearly there, the ball was separated, handball separated, no try.
I tell you what, he went for that and he had 4 or 5 players to the right-hand side and he blew it, didn't he? He blew it. It's good defending by Hull. Well, that's a big opportunity missed.
Well, they
dodged
the gallows, didn't they, Hull?
Yeah.
They got the ricochet off the kicks. You thought Shaw had it covered. It came off him. It's all on. You think Lomax is going to get there. He does incredibly well to get back there on the Lomax. So there's a great, brilliant play from the Saints' left-hand side, and the kick that we went on to see was underneath the sticks.
I tell you, Shaw did exceptionally well to get back. His pace, to just turn after touching the ball. Favourable bounce for Lomax.
Okay, eggs in. Albert, when you're ready.
Well, there's Saints all over, wasn't it? 4 tackles. They looked as though they'd been penned, and then suddenly bang, they're almost underneath the sticks. Hull didn't need that warning. They know exactly what they're up against. Here's Faremo, the USA international. Good quick play, the ball from him as well. Helps his side, takes it forward. Maloney's across. Effort from Manu. Maloney might be hurting a little. He's limping almost back towards his left wing. He'll have to be sharp because they're shifting the ball that way now. Washbrook. Minicello. 5 gone. Here comes the last. And it's a penalty. Whoa, what a painful penalty for St Helens to give away.
Oh, that's a great description. Painful play, 5 penalties. Send coaches to distraction. All your defensive work's been done, and now you've got 6 more in your own half, and more importantly in that 20-metre area.
And the front of the Hull fans know as well.
First drive in by Masi Matongo, the Zimbabwean born prop forward, who's 12 yards away. Houghton to Taylor, who switches it back to Houghton. Minicello came in. Houghton again. Taylor, big carry, not big enough. But they're right there. Houghton. Step by Kelly. St Helens' defence is smothering at the moment. Still a couple to go. Heat draining energy from both sides. But both lifting themselves again here as Taylor takes it close. A little dance around with 3 defenders. Houghton on the last. Kelly puts in the short pass. It's Logan who's trying to get through, but Saints do ever so well to keep him at bay.
Well, I don't mind it. It lacked a little bit of enterprise, but they're staying there, and they've handed the ball over a metre from set. They've got to back their defence now to have another opportunity at that. So if the process is stay there and we will get an opportunity, we've got to take some juice out of this Saints defence, and running the ball in the last play I don't have a problem with.
Yeah, I think the plays before that, I think there were too many just taking the ball up. There's a clash of heads here. It's a good tackle. I think he's got a hand in the face. But they've got to back it up now, the big defensive set to keep them down here.
It's not often we see him with a hat off during a game, but needs a bit of treatment here.
Must be hot with that scrum cap on as well.
Well, there's a good reason for it. I mean, we won't go into the full story because we've said it before, but head injury when he was a young kid, which is why he wears the scrum cap.
There we are. He's got a hand in the face, hasn't he? Percival coming in, just catches him.
It's an opportunity for St Helens to get some fluid on board as well. Eddie Gardner and Paul Wellens, two of their stars of not that long ago, both bringing the water on, and that is another clash here. And Danny Houghton has come off very much second best.
That's a nasty hit because all the players reacted immediately and stopped the play. They knew he was hurt. Let's hope he's not too bad.
He's having a tough day, Danny Houghton, one way or another. We've had so many injury problems in the last few weeks. Is this going to be another? Accidental clash of heads.
He's out, isn't he? He's out before he hits the floor. Clash of heads. Just mistimed his tackle.
And they have a protocol now, don't they? If they see a player has lost consciousness, he's coming off. There's no questions asked. He's coming off for a full assessment. And he's, under those circumstances, I would say, Brian Noble, unlikely to come back on again?
Well, if he passes a head test after that, well... Yeah. The protocol is thorough, Dave, is what I'm saying, so we will have to go through the process.
He's up on his haunches now, though.
He's one tough hombre, is all I'll say about Danny Houghton.
I tell you what, the respect they have for each other on the field is incredible. You know, it doesn't matter what part of the game it is, where you are, who's got the ball. As soon as an injury to any player, the players know it's serious. They all just stop and just look after him.
Well, he's coming off. I mean, officially now, he'll be given 15 minutes to go through a full head check with a doctor, an independent doctor down in the dressing rooms. There'll be no involvement from the coach. It's an independent medical assessment. If the doctor thinks he's okay to come back on, he will come back on. If the doctor says no, then he ain't coming back on.
Ready? You all right to go? Okay, all right, Mark. Back on, David, one.
And we shall see. But I think that might be Danny Houghton's game played.
Washbrook becomes your dummy half player now. Try and prompt this team in and around the ruck.
St Helens looking for a bit more rhythm again here at the start of this second half. Roby out of dummy half, Wilkin lobs it left, and Lomax comes on with a little bit of bounce, and Verve. Here's Barber. I think it's the quietest day we've seen Ben Barber so far, but don't rule out some flash of electrifying stuff from him before 80 minutes are up. Richardson from behind the 40 again, but it's not going to go the distance. Maludi with a catch. Good carry. Penalty for Hull. Ball stolen away from in the tackle.
Well, they've just got momentum now. With the penalties have gone against them. They've just got to try and get this score. Once they get that one score, they're back in it.
He did a good job there for Emo, didn't he? He ramped up, gave himself a challenge of finding and winning the floor, which he did, and Saints stole the ball on him.
Mickey Payer. As you say, Jonathan, one try here makes it all very, very interesting again. 10-0 down. I think we were all sitting back and thinking Saints were going to run away with it, but they weren't allowed to do then, and they're not quite being allowed to do here. Washbrook. Connor. No look pass from him into the hands of Minichella.
Just keeps on driving those legs, doesn't he?
Up and played, and a surge for the line here, but
great tackle, Johnny Wilkin there. Just everyone thought he was in.
Timavadi just held at bay, but back it comes. Here's Taylor again, opposite to Matongo, and decides to have a go himself.
Kelly has to get involved.
Yeah.
Last play. Washbrook, they go left away from Kelly. It's Connor. They've got numbers and a great covering tackle coming in. Real great covering tackle coming in from that right-hand side from Tony Makinson.
It's 6 more for Hull, I think, it's a scrum.
But the Hull fans are getting excited.
They are, but you're right there, bro. You know, you can't have a prop forward, first man, just taking it in on the 4th or 5th tackle. They've got to set something up, you know. Fortunate knock on.
Well, Connor and Kelly are the keys. They're the ones that can beat somebody one-on-one, so find them an opportunity where they can take either one of the smaller blocks on, or there's a bit of a space for them to at least to run in. And you might find what happens on the next play, it's easier the next play because of that.
Oh, they've got to get Shaw involved as well, because Shaw has got tremendous pace and great feet, you know, running against a big forward. You've got to get the ball in a dangerous player's hands in those positions.
So here they come again, another wave of black and white, looking to play themselves back into the game. Shaw stops, starts again, offers it back for Mickey Payer. He's not going to go sideways, but he's not going to go much further forward either. So Washbrook now, the governor at dummy half, left to Taylor. Taylor with another dummy, squeezes away. Scott Taylor. Well, he's over the line. Has he got it down? Yes.
Good.
I think he has. I think he has. The referee isn't sure.
Tackle one,
Hull
James.
fans are.
I have a try.
The referee thinks he has. So we're going to the video referee again. Wow, what a moment. Scott Taylor. James Child to make the decision.
Live decision, try. Looking at the grounding. So can't actually see the ball at this stage, but we know he's in possession. Here he is. And still on it. Hand comes off at that stage, but still in contact with his arm. There has to be sort of separation from the hand, fingers or arm. So we can see he's in possession at this stage. Nice and slow. So hand comes off, but the other hand is still on it, and his arm is still on it. So he maintains possession. We now need to see it on the ground, and it is on the ground. So we're confirming the live decision of a try.
Scott Taylor has won this trophy in the last 2 years. He wants to win it again. Hull wanted to go win it again. They are not going to let go of the Challenge Cup lightly.
Jiffy, give up your X's and your O's and your coach and just give it to the big blokes in the middle. They're just running over the top of people. What do we know? Just give it to Scott Taylor and to Chris Green and smash the middle to pieces.
That's it, you know, you just can't give him the opportunity. The penalties have given him momentum, they've given him field position. It's been brilliant. There's the knock on Makinson. Another 6.
What an effort this was, eh? What an effort this was. And the kick from Connor has gone over. 23-18. So Hull are back within a try and a goal of taking the lead here.
It was like a 12-pointer. You remember Lomax going there and then Tyre dropping the ball. They get possession, they go back down to the other side. Couple of penalties. You know, what a swing that is.
So Saints have still got a big battle on their hands here. Hull are making it tough. Robbie Hunter-Paul, what are you saying down on the sidelines?
Yeah, I thought I'd just throw my 5 cents. And one thing you guys didn't pick up on was actually Ben Barber's not having the greatest day of his career so far in 2018. Purely and simply, he did a fullback's technique and pulling Taylor over the line there to try and get the guy to play the ball back on the 10. It backfired on him. Taylor kept rolling, had the strength to put the ball over the try line.
He also missed a tackle on the first one when Albert Kelly scored, so you know, they've kept him quiet and they put pressure on him defensively as well.
Whatever happens from here, this is a heck of an effort from Hull FC.
Oh, brilliant effort, absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
But you know it's in them.
St Helens have shown their brilliance at times here, but Hull have just hung on. And that's going to be a tap back on the 20, the kick's too long. Sat back on the 27 tackles here for St Helens to get downfield.
They'll want those 7 tackles. It wasn't the running start that Barber would have liked, but it means that the extra tackle just might make the difference here.
No questioning the spirit and the heart from Hull. But you always still get a sense that Saints could run away with this.
Last 10 minutes, so it's been all Hull. Kept possession, played in the right areas.
Thompson, there's a lot of honesty in that effort from him. And the Fires picks up from dummy half, and Wilkin helps it on to Lomax, and Lomax pops it back to Barber, and Barber is in the flow. It's here with Percival, and Percival's threatened to cut through. Back to Barber again, and while that all happens, Johnny Lomax is lying on a heap in the floor, so when Barber's eventually tackled, the referee will stop the game so that the St Helens #1 can get some treatment here. Got a smack on the nose a little earlier.
I have to say, I didn't see the incident. No marks.
Well, let's have a look. I think he's in the break here still. Oh, it's a shoulder from Matongo.
It's chest, isn't it? Let's have a look.
That's cheap and late. What do you think, Brian?
It's his chest. He might be late. I don't disagree with that, but it ricochets off his chest.
But when he's open, when you've given the pass,
yeah,
you relax
Protection
a little bit. You know, yeah, you've got to protect. I think Johnny Thurston was mourning this week about the late shots he was taking, and what's it going to take, you know, for referees to look at it. I'd like to see it at normal speed, because you've got to give the defender the benefit of the doubt. So if it's on match speed, we'll see if he is late or not.
It's that kind of whiplash, isn't it, as much as anything, that causes the problems there for Johnny Lomax.
Yeah. You can see Taya saying, look, it's a late shot.
He's clearly in a lot of distress here, Johnny Lomax. Well, there's a card coming out here. It's going to be a third yellow card for Hull FC on the afternoon. Once again, they are short of numbers for 10 minutes. Massi Matongo this time.
I think that is the biggest one for them. This now, they are in the game. They are in control. Momentum is with them. And that is a needless tackle. A needless tackle. Yeah, it's late. It's late and cheap. And
well, Lomax is coming off as well here. And a reminder that Hull are still missing Danny Houghton because of the injury in this half. So, huge blow. Hadley, as Brian pointed out, off early as well. Now they're back down to 12 men. There's Danny Houghton. I don't think he's coming back on. And St Helens are going to take the opportunity to kick the goal here.
Well, that's a good decision, because it takes it beyond the 6. That must be a coach's nightmare, that is, Brian, when you know that you're back in the game, you're in control of it a little bit, although you're still behind, and then that is like a needless penalty and a yellow card.
It certainly makes you think for sure. Late tackle, justifiable penalty.
Not you, get Doc to pick it up or something.
So Richardson settles himself for a big kick here. In terms of this match, in terms of this Challenge Cup, this Ladbrokes Challenge Cup quarter-final. Has he nailed it? Oh, he just squeezes in. But whether it squeezes in or flies over the black dot, it doesn't make any difference. It's 2 points, and it's now a 7-point lead that St Helens have, and Hull are back in the territory of having to score twice to get themselves ahead.
And that's when the drop goal, you know, becomes important. Another one just before half-time.
Plays a cool head, Denny Richardson.
And with Brian, I've been very impressed with him. He's got all the skills.
Early test of his temperament, Good Friday, the derby here against Wigan. He nailed a couple of really big kicks and had a good game as well in that heat and that intensity. So Saints back in the driving seat. But Hull have been nuisance passengers throughout the game. They keep nibbling away. They keep making sure that St Helens are uncomfortable. Can they do it again? Farge with the pass. Zeptire. Roby comes down this blind side. He threw it at Farge. It bounced off Farge. Well, he's seen 2 knock-ons here. This could be St Helens head and feet.
Yeah, I think Albert got his hand in there.
2 knock-ons.
Yep, Saints head and
by
feet.
Hull, then by Saints. That's what it's called. He's in line running.
Yeah. And then, oh, where was the Saints knock-on? I think John Wilkin was asking that question. Why can't we play on here?
In essence, it's a repeat set from a kick-off. It's a bit more field position for Saints.
And they're edging towards the semi-finals. Only one semi-final in the last 6 years, St Helens. Grace. Roby. Out on that right-hand side with Morgan Knowles. Still tackles in the bag, lots of them here for St Helens, and they find themselves in Hull territory again. They'll fancy this position. Thompson, Roby, Wilkin comes on at pace, up to the line, throws the ball back to Richardson. Here's Barber chiming in again. Now it's Percival, wrapped up by those eager Hull defenders. That's great defence by the Black and Whites. They've lost none of their attitude. They might be losing players here and there, but they've lost none of their attitude.
They certainly have the desire today, haven't they? Some inspirational moments to keep them in this game, really. Saints not quite executing the way they want, but that's on the back of what the black and white shirts are doing to them. Numbers in the tackle, you see that there. They're not giving this up, are they?
Legends here today, and there's one of them. Ray French.
Good old Ray.
Legend in the commentary box, legend as a player. Dual international, of course.
Lovely man.
St Helens and Widnes superstar.
Heads in, boys, come on, please. Ben.
Always the best company.
Okay, Albert, when you're ready, stay outside. Out!
Washbrook. Mickey Payer. Takes it in and carries on. Look at that, metres after contact. He's still going. He's made about 20 metres after contact.
Great carry, and for our viewers watching that with his leg driving those carry, it means the defensive line has to keep going back and back and back.
Washbrook. Hull with Twimavavi.
With all the stoppages we've had and incidents in the second half, still 20 minutes left, plenty of time.
Pick up on a dash here by Minicello, looks to that right-hand side where Jack Logan chimes in as well. Lifelong Hull FC fan, Jack Logan. Say lifelong, he's only 22, so it's only a short life so far. Down on this 6 tackle down the blind side, Green, Minicello, gone backwards, and then the tackle's complete. Farge gets stuck in, and it's going to be the handover. St Helens have it back again.
Yeah, he just needed one of the half-backs in there then, just to put a little kick in, trying a repeat set, keep the pressure on. With the extra man Saints have got, just keep possession.
Roby. Here's Roby. Wilkin to his right-hand side again. Amor was on his right, but he's gone back inside for Barber, but Hull's inside defence was ready for that. Here's Wilkin again, another inside ball for Thompson. But again, Hull have got that area covered. Wilkin, Amor, tried a little step, but he slips over under duress from Minicello. On the 6, Richardson steeples it high. Jamie Shaw's underneath it, catches on the fall, claims from the Saints fans that Richardson was harshly dealt with after the ball was kicked, but the referee's having none of that. And Hull have possession, and here comes Minicello. Let's go down to Damien Johnson. I think you got some injury news down there, Damien.
Yeah, Dave, just to confirm that Danny Houghton, the Hull captain, his race is run. Officially, he's got concussion. They've been through all the appropriate protocols. He's cutting a bit of a disconsolate figure on the bench. His afternoon is over. He's out of the game.
Thanks, Damien. Here's Logan. Couple of tackles to go in the set.
The heat must be playing its part now.
Oh, absolutely draining, isn't it?
It's noticeably slower now, isn't it?
Here's Pay. Oh, that's a good ball from Connor. Out to that left-hand side. Timovavi holds his line and comes back in the middle, brushing away defenders. Back to Connor. Where's he going? Maverick, maker up of magic, but he puts it back for Logan, who's almost squeezes through. Kelly was there in support. Logan couldn't get the ball away because of the defence. Now it's on the 6th. Up goes the kick from Kelly. Barber's underneath it. There's no Hull player in the shot.
Yeah.
Here's danger.
Barber. Oh,
here's danger.
What about that? It's pushing them away. Now they've got a bit of space on that right-hand side with Ryan Morgan. He cuts back on the inside. Thriller minute from St Helens.
First loose kick they've done. First loose kick. He exploited it.
Look at the gaps on the left-hand side now. Zeb Tyre. It's now with Percival. Percival delivers a pass. Regan Grace. Oh, out of play. Zeb Tyre's furious.
Yeah, he was looking for the
furious.
He was looking for the inside runner there. They were creeping out of space. They were looking for the inside man. That's the first time the chase hasn't been that good.
Well, it's a bit of a row going on amongst the Hull players at the moment. Taylor and Kelly and Shaw are having a right go at each other. It's calmed down a little there. I think Shaw was actually the peacemaker there, but Kelly, you can see Albert Kelly here at the front of the picture, and Scott Taylor, they were, look, they're still having a go at each other.
There he is, he's saying, look, the chase, he's saying, they know how dangerous that guy is in the back there, Barber. And Scott Taylor's telling him, you've got to communicate when you're kicking. We have to know when the chase, and the kick has got to give him air time and hang time so that they can get to him. Once he has a little bit of space, as Brian was saying, it's danger.
Well, it was a poor kick because he kicked against the grain back towards the way where there were no Hull defenders. That's why Scott Taylor's blowed up. He says, we ain't got no black and white shirts out there. You stick it in that corner, there's 2 red and white shirts with a chance of defending. Put it where we want it. And I tell you what, to have the energy to do that after what's going on out there in the middle.
Old Faithful is being sung loud and proud by the black and whites to our right. Not long before they're back to 13, by the way.
I think they look as if they've got a bit more juice in the tank, haven't they? Hull at the moment, they're the ones who are on the ascendancy. And the fans are really getting behind them as well.
Connor. Shaw. Oh, they're all over him, Saints defenders.
If he gets away, it takes some catching him.
Last play. Washbrook goes left. Here's Timovavi with a little kick and a chase for Maludi. Barber's got it covered. Can't find a way down that short side. Scored a great try against Castleford the other week down that short side when there seemed to be nowhere for him to go. Roby was punishing runs out of dummy half that puts Hull on the back foot. They've got to race back 10 metres in preparation for now. Luke Thompson coming charging in. Here's offload. Richardson to Wilkin, and here's Farge. Pokes his head through a couple of defenders. Wilkin. Barber. Tear. Hands flailing, all of them missing. Shoulder hits him, he bounces off that. Circling, looking for more. What a run that is. What a run from Zeb Tyre. What an effort. Galloping downfield. Roby, 6th tackle. Richardson looks up, sees that there might be an opportunity with a high kick to that right-hand side. Up go the arms, gone backwards. Peru. And now Minicello just happy to drop on the ball. and claim possession back again for Hull FC.
Juice there, Hull.
And I think Matonga's coming back on now, so you know they'd have lasted this, no points, apart from the 2 points.
15 minutes to play. Is Hull's Challenge Cup reign coming to an end, or can they lift again here, or will it be Saints taking a giant step towards a first Wembley final in 10 years? Washbrook. Both sets of supporters finding their voice here, trying to lift their sides. They know that both have given their all in this.
Space.
Barber's catch. Makinson. Luke Thompson is standing about 20 yards downfield with his hands on his hips, making no effort to get back behind the play the ball. Here he goes, I just saw him there a glimpse. Here's Grace, dodging and weaving and causing problems.
There's a few Saints forwards walking at the moment. They're giving everything.
Amor, the Cumbrian.
Both teams have been great.
I know.
Roby. Wilkin back to Farge. Oh, Tyre came in, the ball bulleted at him. Bounces out, holds head and feet.
If you want an example of an unbelievable sport played at an unbelievable pace, look at some of the jumpers out there. They're taking breaths from anywhere they can get them, Dave.
I tell you what, it's a brilliant effort from the Hull side. Now, they have been down to 11, 12 men for a long part of this game, and they are hanging on in there. Hanging on, they are. But the quality in their side, they still think, and the belief in that side, they still think that they can win this game. And look, most people wrote them off, Saints being in the form that they are, but when the team sheet was given out, there was quality all the way through.
Look how many more tackles Hull have had to make, with, for 20 minutes of the game, down at least a man, maybe down 2 men.
It's probably 8 sets of defence more, 9 sets of defence more than the Saints team.
It's a tribute to Saints, the tries they've scored. It's a tribute to Hull that they're still in the game. It's a classic confrontation. Last interchange for Saints. They're going with this now for 13 minutes. Minicello to Mavabi. Washbrook inside, Matongo comes running in hard. He's fresh from his spell in the sin bin. Sitting on the naughty boy step for the last 10 minutes. Taylor now takes it in. Kelly looks on the inside, dummies a couple of times. Tries to weave past Percival, who's having none of that. Chops him down by the kneecaps. Now it's Green. Green wanted the offload, kept a hold in the end. Last play, 20 out. Kelly kicks it high. Grace goes up, catches it really well.
Good defensive work there.
Forest of arms up there. Grace made sure his went higher than anyone else. And Albert Kelly's down injured. I think the referee's done both sets of players a real favour here by stopping the game. McCarthy Scarsbrook coming in. That's not late, is it?
It's good play by the Saints. Players here just get blocking him a little bit. No penalty.
Committed to the tackle, isn't he?
He's committed. The Hull fans will want a penalty.
Well, I don't think even they are complaining about it too much, watching it on the big screen.
No.
A game like this needs a break like this. And don't forget that we've got a semi-final draw still to bring you, which will be on the red button now. We've overrun the time because of the stoppages in the game, so it will be on the red button, and the Rugby League Forum will be there as well. Hashtag BBCRL. Farge, Saints, when they opened up in the 15 minutes with those tries from Mark Percival and Regan Grace, a wonder pass from Johnny Lomax, they must have thought today was going to be a cakewalk. But it's anything but. It's anything but. And they're under pressure again here because of the knock-on. And Hull quickly packed down. They want to save every second here.
You can sense the uneasiness in this stadium at the moment. I think all the Saints fans are thinking, hang on, with all the opportunity we've had with the extra numbers, they are still there. The knock-on, they are still there.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Brilliant effort.
They started the day as hot favourites, Saints. I think they're barely lukewarm favourites at the moment, because Hull are going to throw everything at them here. Big test of Saints' character now as well. Minicello. 10 metres away, 5 tackles to come. Washbrook bends his back. Inside for Matongo. Straightens things up again and slams it in. Takes a bit more juice out of the Saints' defence with his big effort. Options left and right. Matongo gets up and plays. Washbrook, Connor with a short pass. It's Brad Fash, who's very close. Another of the Hull youngsters who've come through the club. Washbrook, Taylor back on the inside. Minicello on the angle. Saints doing a lot of hard work on their own line here. Good defence from them at the moment. Connor stepping away from an effort. Just putting a shoulder in and trying to barge his way over. He's going to be short. Offloads, offloads. Went backwards. Referee says play on. 1 or 2 had stopped. Not Minicello and not those St Helens defenders. Last play. Last play. Kelly. There's a big kick to that right-hand side. Oh, it's gone into there! It's scored! It's scored! Hull FC will not give up their cup lightly. They're back in the cup tie. They will not lie down. They're going to take this to the bitter end.
Well, the reactions of that, when they all went up there, all the Hull players went up, and all the Saints players held their heads in their hands as if they've lost, It's just they're still in front, Saints are. But what an effort from Hull.
Hats off Hakeem Maludi.
Oh my goodness.
Brilliant.
It's elusive. It's not Maludi, it's Malusive.
Oh.
And he leapt. There's the knock-on that leads to Hull getting a crack at this Saints line again. Albert Kelly's brilliant kick gives Maludi every opportunity to outjump his opposite number and slam the ball down. What a score!
He only made his whole debut back in April, Hakeem Maludi. But he's just made a name for himself in Hull colours.
And Saints.
Look at that.
Saints have got no interchange left. 10 minutes, searing heat.
Time off.
Momentum is massive in sport, isn't it? And they've just, when they've had momentum, they've certainly benefited from it, Hull.
Wow, wow, wow.
Well, they still need another score, irrespective of the goal kick. They need another score, don't they?
Well, it's a big goal kick, this, because it puts them in penalty range, doesn't it? If he puts it over, St Helens cannot afford to give away a kickable penalty. It also puts them within drop goal range, of course, of taking it into golden point extra time. So this is a big, big kick here.
Huge.
Misses it, they have to score a try to Hull. Jake Connor. "22 years of age. Big deep breath. Look at the ball. Look at the sticks. Kick and wide. Wide from Connor. It's the first he's missed today. And that could have a big influence on the game yet.
Yeah, it's a big kick, He won't be happy. He's going to miss that.
Just to be next to the Hull FC players, these guys are really pumped up. St Helens, with only 1 point, are not going to be able to shut up the game right now. They're going to have to keep the game underway.
Well, We've got to finish on our hands here. Whatever else you were planning on doing in the next 8 minutes, put it on hold. Stay here, watch this, because this is going to be quite something. The last 8.5 minutes. Hull down by 2 men for 10 minutes in the first half, down by 10 men, down to 12 men for 10 minutes in the second half. But somehow they've kept themselves alive in this cup tie. Taylor. They still have to score a try. St Helens still just about in the driving seat. Here comes Kelly, inside from Matongo. Straightens things up. Last play. Last play. Kelly again. Sticks it towards the corner. Barber's underneath. He's in his own in-goal area. That's a poor kick. That's a poor kick, because it has given St Helens a tap back on the 20 and 7 tackles to clear their lines, and Barber's leading the charge. Benny Barber. 0 tackles, 6 from here. Regan Grace.
Played well, Grace, hasn't he? He's carried the ball well in the backfield.
Amor. Look where Saints are here, all the way to the halfway line and beyond. Fage, Thompson. Thompson drives it in hard. This is a good set from St Helens. Really good set from St Helens. Richardson misses him. Taken by McCarthy Scarsbrook. Back to Fage. Here's Lomax. Tear carries the ball one-handed. Looks around. Picks out Fage again. Still a couple of tackles to go. They're only 20 metres away. Lomax picks up sharply. Slides left, goes right, puts the kick in. Was there an obstruction? No, there wasn't. Into the hands of Shaw. Shaw now. Half a break. And Hull have got 90 metres to cover.
Early kick, wasn't it?
Wasn't early kick.
Timovavi. Wrestled down by Morgan. Oh, they can't sit still. They can't sit still. Not those with an emotional investment in this game. They need a bit of magic. Here comes Meludi. Scored the try. Washbrook.
He's done a good job since moving a hooker.
Last play again. Connor. I think he's looking for touch here. He's looking for touch. Will it go? Oh, it's not. It's hit the corner flag. And that's another disappointing kick for Hull, because it's a tap back on the 20 for Saints again.
It's just small margins, small margins.
Washbrook's down injured. I think he's hoping the referee will stop the clock. No, he's not. Washbrook has to get himself up and get back in the defensive line.
Stand up, Brad! Go,
Tear.
He's been outstanding today, I think. Tear.
He has.
Go.
Thompson slams it in. Good carry again. McCarthy Scarsbrook. 5 minutes to go. Richardson. Little skip. They are just 26 tired players out there, running on empty, but having to carry on running. Lomax. No value in the drop goal. McCarthy Scarsbrook to Richardson. Here's Benny Barber. Caught high. There is value in a penalty. Got a kick for goal here, haven't they? Or is 5 points still too much of a risk? You keep running on.
Penalty, I think I go with touch. Graham?
I'd take the two.
Going over the field. Benny Barber's saying carry on.
Yeah.
What's he going to do here? Just kick the touch.
Yeah.
Right, we're back on BBC Two with the draw, by the way. It's now over on So Much. We're still on. We're still on. We're taking over the network for the next 24 hours. Semi-final draw still on BBC Two. So stay right where you are. but enjoy this next 4 minutes before that. It's a cut tie to be won. McCarthy, Scarsbrook in. Farge, a dummy half. Back it goes, Richardson again. Lomax is involved. Crunching tackle on him. Lomax going for the line, held up. Farge again. Richardson's barking out the orders as it comes to him now. He's telling his players what he's going to do. In the end, I don't think he knew what he was going to do. Takes the tackle. But the time is running out. St Helens, from their point of view, at the right end of the field. Barber, inside, Taya. Where are they finding the energy from in attack and defence? Last play, St Helens, Farge, little grubber kick, picked up, Hull have it back, but only the matter of 98 metres or so to get downfield and score the try to win the tie. What can they do? Mickey Paya. Listen to the Saints fans trying to lift their side. Logan. A couple of tackles to go in the set. Quick play the ball. Picked up by Albie Kelly. Looks left. Peru came out with a diving tackle. Pass gets away to Tumavavi. Searching the middle. Oh, offload. Great offload. Taylor. Shaw. Here it comes to Green. Green flicks it away. There's no ending to this. But Logan's lost it. Saints have it back. Two tackle, two knock-ons. Two knock-ons. First against Hull. So Saints head and feet. And listen to the cheer that's as loud that's greeted any try so far today.
Yeah, it's not over yet. You know, it's Hull will have the ball back.
Penalty because of a word out of place.
That is just silly. Field position, no. Just got to button it sometimes with all the frustration, and maybe the decision goes against you. You just got to button it. He is not going to change his mind, the man in green.
Well, Hull have been counted out of this cup tie a time or two today. But is this the final count? St Helens, if they find the semi-final, will have found it the hard way. McCarthy, Scarsbrook. 40-odd seconds of Saints in possession, and then Hull likely to get it back.
Come on, boys.
Here's Farge. 4 tackles to go. Now it comes with Thompson. Look at him running like a steam train still. Every time he gets the ball in hand, he finds the same pace. That's a poor pass. But Tyre picks it up. Runs it back towards the middle. Taylor advances. Couple of tackles left. They might look for the sidelines. Richardson. McCarthy, Scarsbrook heads out there. Last play, Lomax. They're going for the line here with Lomax. He's tackled too short, but there's a minute just over left to play. It all comes down to this. Hull have got 1 minute to go 95 metres. Can they do it? They've defied all logic several times so far today. Can they do it one final time?
Trapdoor, they know.
The last 2 glorious Wembley finals, they've lifted the trophy. They want to go back there again, and here they have a chance with Ferramo on this right-hand side, who's bouncing off defenders, throws it inside to Kelly. Kelly now springs around. Taylor offloads. Here's Minichella. This is tackle 1, by the way.
Brilliant from Hull, brilliant.
Radford can't stay in his seat. He's down on the sidelines. That was a forward pass. What a mistake! What a shocker! A forward pass that sucks all the energy out of Hull, and Saints know now, finally, they've won the cup tie, surely.
Finally, and his expression said it all, didn't he? Brilliant play, and then just a lazy pass. They're all tired. Shaw is there. He's overrun him. He shouldn't give him the pass. It's
As
just
soon as he
slightly
threw the
forward.
pass, he knew. That is it. But let's remember this cup tie, not for that final moment. Let's remember it for the heroics from Hull, the sizzle from Saints. In the end, both sides were hanging on, simply hoping, running on empty. But Saints finding a way to win. They take a step closer to their first Challenge Cup final in 10 years. They've still got a mighty semi-final to overcome yet. But Hull FC did not give up their trophy lightly. Twice winners in the last 2 years, and their fingers had to be absolutely prized off the Challenge Cup today. What an effort. What an effort. Jonathan Davis, man of the match.
Right, Zeb Taylor's man of the match, you know, he was immense. Scott Taylor was immense as well, you know, it was just incredible game. You know, with all the yellow cards and the shortage of men, they were there right at the death. What a brilliant, brilliant cup game.
Well, has anybody got the breath to talk about what has just happened? Let's find out. Damien Johnson will be asking the questions.
Yeah, Zeb Taylor, the man of the match, is with us. He's got his bubbly. Zeb, that was an absorbing quarter-final. You're through. Amazing.
Yeah, that was a tough game. Probably one of the toughest games this year for us. You know, credit to them. They showed up, man, with the amount of players they got out. You know, they gave us a... You know, it shows that they're a champion team. They still wanted to compete for that title and go again at Wembley, I mean. But, you know, credit to us, man. We stuck in there and dug deep, and we're lucky in the end there.
How did you get over the line, do you feel, in the end?
Nah, what do you mean?
Just getting through.
Oh, yeah, it was tough, you know, especially the heat. You know, we had a couple of games like at this time, you know, during the season, so it's been good.
Did you start to feel that you didn't have a big enough cushion? You didn't take advantage of the fact that they were reduced to 12 and 11 men?
Yeah, no, I think we just panicked a bit when they had 11 players on the field. We weren't completing our sets, you know, and they kept rushing us. And credit to them, they held us out a little bit there.
Zeb, well done.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks.
Lee Radford is somewhere. Just congratulating Zeb Taylor, the man of the match. Lee, the run comes to an end. Put into words your feelings at this moment.
Yeah, devastated. Yeah, really. I thought we outmatched them in many departments. The two areas we didn't was discipline and kicking. If we could have just got those two things right today, you know, they was ready to go. Then, man. Well, yeah, it killed us.
What are your observations on the sin binnings? Because I think at least one of them, Danny Washbrook, was controversial.
Very. Yeah, well done. Great decisions.
You're not happy with them, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
At the end, did you just run out of energy? I mean, there were mistakes creeping in. Everyone was worn out.
Defended for 10 minutes with 11 men, and you know, the Jake Connor high tackle. There's one on Akeem Maludi 2 minutes later. You know, we don't get that. So, yeah, look, that is what it is. I ain't going to go into that. The effort was phenomenal. We just got to learn how to kick the football this week and learn how to get on the right side of an official.
A brutal game. Danny Houghton injured as well, concussion, I understand.
We had no interchange left at the end. Again, we lose Dean Hadley in the first set of 6, so nothing changes.
Well done. It's been a great run. Ben Barber is here. Ben, come in. You're through to the semi-finals. You had to do it the hard way.
Yeah, I think we were pretty lucky here today. What a team. They know how to play these games, Hull, and they got some key players out, and they stuck it to us right to the end there. But look, happy to get away with that. I know for a fact we won't be happy with that performance. Lucky enough, we don't play the semi now for another month, and we've got a while now to prepare for the semis out of Bolton.
A brutal game and conditions really hard.
Yeah, it was pretty hot. It should be the weather I'm used to, but no, well, look, as I said, it made for a great game, which it was, and both teams came out here, and probably wasn't as pretty as we thought it would be, but it's just one of them games that's like finals football. It's scrappy, and then the team that works hardest comes away with it, and fortunately enough, it was us today.
Hardest game you faced this season?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, I thought they came at us all the whole game. With key players missing, they really stood up today, and as I said, they know how to win these comps, and we knew we had to be on today. You
had some quiet spells. Do you think they deliberately targeted you, trying to keep you out of the game, double mark you if you like?
Yeah, well, that's what you expect. When you're playing some good football, you got to expect that. And look, it's if I'm not having a good day, hopefully someone else on my side is. And I think Johnny Lomax has been outstanding these last 2 weeks, and we're trying to involve everyone in the side. And I think other other guys stood up today and got us over the line.
Ben, well done. Justin Holbrook, the St Helens coach, is with me. Justin, congratulations. You've spoken about your love of this competition, and what a quarter-final that was.
Absolutely. You can see how Hull won the last 2 years, can't you? They just kept coming, and they're a dangerous side. So, happy to win.
At the end, what was the key? Was it just who could last the pace?
Yeah, and I think it's hard as a coach, or if you're watching back home, because you're there being critical of everyone. Then you come out here and it feels like we're playing in Australia, doesn't it? It's that hot, so it's hard to be critical of players when they're all run off their feet. But just happy to win that one, because Hull, what an enormous performance they did.
Was there a fear in the back of your mind that you hadn't built enough of a cushion when they were down so many men with the sin binnings?
Oh, it wasn't so much a cushion. It's just our execution the last 20 minutes was just poor, and we're lucky to get away with that win, and we've got to learn from that. That's for sure. Game management was poor from us, but we're still alive, and that's the main thing.
Well done, Justin.
Yeah, thank you.
James Roby, the Saints skipper, is with us. Well done, James. I mean, you've been around the Challenge Cup for years and years. You can't have known a harder game than that, can you?
No, it was a very tough game. I think full credit to Hull. They had 3 yellow cards, and the scoreline like that. We had to really work for that today. It was a very hard game.
What was the key in the end, do you think?
Maybe just perseverance. I think obviously we got off to a good start, and then we kind of let them back into the game a bit. I think a bit of complacency by ourselves, but then we clawed our way back in, a couple of quick tries, and that second half was a bit of a dogfight at times. You know what I mean? The players were out on the feet in the heat, and it was just kind of get through your sets as best you can and make your tackles.
After a game like that, do you start to think perhaps the Saints' name is on the trophy?
Well, hopefully, you know what I mean. We'd love to get there and love to get our hands on it again, but there's a lot of hard work to go before then, and I'm sure whoever we get in the semis is going to be a very tough game.
10 years since you've been to a Challenge Cup final, overdue really for a St Helens team that's got this reputation, this tradition.
Yeah, definitely overdue in my eyes. We're associated with success, and rightly so. We should be expected to be up there challenging. So, we know that as a playing group and as a club, and we want to do that. We want to bring the Challenge Cup home to the town, but likewise the other teams in the semis are saying the same.
Congratulations, James. Terrific game.
Yes, thank you.
A sensational game of rugby league, and I love working in this sport because the whole players not only got a standing ovation from their fans behind one of the sets of pace, but also all those Saints fans staying as well have applauded Hull off the field, and applauded both sets of players actually for a phenomenal effort, James.
Well, welcome to the Challenge Cup. It's all about stories, it's all about narratives, isn't it? And we've had it all today. All come over here with a depleted side, 30-man minutes in the sin bin. Everything that could have gone against them did at some point in the game. 2 early injuries as well, and kept us entertained for 80 minutes, and that's what people want to see. We want to see a really good Challenge Cup contest, and we saw that for 80 minutes. Outstanding. Been a pleasure to be here.
And Albert Kelly still having selfies with the Saints fans who have stayed. They didn't half make a fight of holding on to their Challenge Cup, Kevin.
Yeah, 34 players take a bow for me. I just thought both teams were courageous, were valiant. Look, Hull will get a lot of plaudits for having men off the field for 30 minutes, but I actually thought both teams really, really dug in today, and it's great for TV. Great to be a part of it today.
No, I can't hear from you. No time whatsoever.